rookie year, punctured a tire, sent the car hard into the wall, and I ended up with a broken leg, fractured clavicle, just numerous injuries.
He is out of the car on the stretcher. He is conscious, and they are going to load him into the ambulance.
They come through the tri-oval. Checkered is waving. Ernie Evans wins, and Rusty spins and gets airborne and flips wildly right at the start-finish line. Very reminiscent of his accident at Daytona.
Oh, man. That is too bad. Let's see.
What a way.
Yeah, he's moving. I see him moving around in the car. I saw it there. We see his head moving around.
Yes, we do. Car tumbling violently toward a sixth-place finish. Fortunately, Rusty's injuries were minimal. A broken wrist, minor cuts, and bruises. Sterling Marlin outside.
And Ernie going with Earnhardt down on the inside. That's going to hit. Oh, big time trouble.
Terrible crash. Front of the field all torn up. Earnhardt's car destroyed. A major crash. And Earnhardt is on his feet. Dale Earnhardt attempting to walk to the ambulance. Never, never doubt that cliche about Dale Earnhardt. One tough customer gives the thumbs up as he walks away from one of the worst incidents in his racing career.
And here Butch Miller spun out. Butch doesn't run very often. He was running at Richmond, spun out, and he stops in the middle of the racetrack. Rick Wilson has no brakes, and you can see just how hard he plowed in the back of Butch Miller. And look what happened. Both cars just burst into flames. Rick Wilson started to walk away and couldn't make it as Truman went over and literally carried him away.
Those mounts back on, and they'll put the shocks back on. It'll be a while.
Oh, trouble in the tri-oval. Terry Labonte gets out of control. Michael Waltrip hits the wall. We have two cars involved. Waltrip comes back across the racetrack in traffic, gets tagged by another machine, and the second caution is out on the Pepsi 400.
I believe that other machine, it looked like just going down there in the smoke, could have been Jeff Gordon, but we'll wait and see. I think it might have been.
Barney, that was Jeremy Mayfield who collided with a spinning car once it came to the end of the front straightaway. Smoke again all over this end of the racetrack, but it was Mayfield who made the collision.
So caution is another one involved in there too that's sitting down on the inside of the racetrack, Barney. There's Marty Snyder has been down by the Infield Care Center to try and get us a word with Terry Labonte. Let's check with him.
And Terry is still in the Infield Care Center. Crew Chief Gary Dehart did just come from the Infield Care Center, however, and said that they are going to transport Terry to Halifax Hospital. It is simply precautionary. It's for a CAT scan because Terry was briefly unconscious. He's now fine. He, in fact, had an entire conversation with Gary about what happened, and Terry said, I don't know what happened. The car just broke loose and got into the wall. So they are transporting Terry Labonte to Halifax Hospital. It is strictly precautionary, however, for a CAT scan.
Yeah, Terry did walk away from the car.
Yeah, we did see him get out of the car and walk away.
So Terry going to take the trip over to the Halifax Medical Center and just undergo some further tests and observation.
Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside. Wow. Crash into the wall, into the air. Goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof. Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th. And comes to rest. Blaney finishing 2nd. Blaney tried the top side, tried to get low. Ryan Newman goes around, and the car goes to its roof, and here's the on-rushing Corey LaJoie picking it up and over.
Car on the wall.
Name a check.
And Mike Bliss
Oh,
Bobby
wow.
Gordon
With a hard hit. Michael Waltrip we're hearing involved. Down the backstretch.
It's like Michael turned the 7 car into the outside wall.
that way. That's right.
Okay, here's today's helmet tossing event.
Wow, that was pretty gutsy. It's like a bullfighter.
Tony about to run over the helmet.
Sure he does.
In 2002, he endured a crash that looked eerily similar to his father's, and like his father, sustained a head injury.
Oh, I'm telling you, that is
a brutal hit.
It is.
I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just felt like a shotgun had went off beside my head. The violence of that crash was shocking, and I was like radioing to my crew.
Junior, you all right?
Help me! Help me! Help me! Hurry up!
Earnhardt sustained a serious concussion, but didn't seek medical help.
Casey Kane gets turned around. Greg Biffle involved. Mark Martin is there. No caution has come out. They're going to let him race back as Gurney piles in, and now the caution.
6. You knew that was going to be big when you saw the 9 coming back across the racetrack.
Okay,
here's what happened
see,
final lap.
Casey and Allmendinger put a big block on him, and that's what it was.
Oh.
He put and man, once you get in that grass, you're done.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a hit, man.
Wow.
That was a hit.
That was a hard hit. The 16 and the 5 just drove into the side of the 9, had no place to go. The Mark Martin and Biffle took the hard hits right there. And then you see 24 come into it. 26.
Yeah. Take another look here. Watch. You see Casey Kane in the Budweiser car. He's going to make a run, and Allmendinger is going to take him all the way to the grass on the block.
Yeah, and I think Allmendinger, I think AJ felt like, okay, I'm this far down. He's not going to be there now.
I mean, right in front of Mark Martin and Biffle. Who's that? Is that Truex in there too?
Yeah, Truex is in there.
Yeah.
Here's a 39 that we saw come off of turn 3, just in the gas.
Oh, Ambrose hit the inside guardrail a ton.
Drivers get that are lined up. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. right there in the 88. Watch Bernie.
Here we go. Here we go.
And she's all right after a hard crash, and the caution flag is out. Out as Allmendinger leads him way up the high side. Where is the contact?
Somebody's going to come down into her, I think.
Almirola.
Yeah, right there. He got on the bumper of it. Looked like McMurray's car, the 1, turned him a little bit to the left. Thank God for safer barriers.
That was a hard lick. It's almost that car didn't even look like it slowed down as it was going across there.
I'm so glad that all these racetracks have put safer barriers where we never had them before, and here's a perfect example of why we need them everywhere.
So Danica Patrick is okay after this.
Bottom. There you go. Keep digging. 3 right.
Goodness gracious. Let's go on board.
Bottom. There you go. Keep digging. 3 wide.
Is that not? Did you see what she did with her hands?
Yeah, all that open wheel experience.
IndyCar, all that open wheel experience. She knew not to hold on to that steering wheel. That is amazing. I saw her do that here in the ARCA race a couple of years ago.
If you hold on to the wheel there, you can break a wrist easily.
Yeah, but
when that wheel wrenches your hands.
Do you just have any idea when you're headed for that wall that fast that you got this?
And you can see the right front is destroyed, therefore he has no brakes, almost like the throttle's even stuck.
It does look that way.
You know, I'm not so sure that maybe he didn't hit the wall and daze himself and just stayed in the throttle. He's already had hard impact.
That was a hard lick.
Yeah,
yes.
hard impact into that wall. And then this is just...
Boy, it sure looks like it's still accelerating.
Yeah, it does. Wow. The equipment we have now. A head-on collision is a lot better.
Kowicki led the others to the start. Bobby Allison was telling his crew a tire was going down, and he would take a chance and be in at the end of lap 1, but he didn't make it. In the second turn, Allison went into the wall and then was hit hard in the driver's side by Jocko Majacomo. After a lengthy extrication, he was brought to the infield hospital and later transferred to an Allentown, Pennsylvania hospital. We'll have more on this incident in a moment.
Back to CNN Sports. Veteran NASCAR racer Bobby Allison listed in critical but stable condition in a Pennsylvania hospital tonight. Allison was injured in a wreck on the first lap of today's Miller 500 at Pocono International Raceway. Reports on Allison's condition have been sketchy. His family has asked that all information be withheld at the moment. A source tells CNN that Allison has undergone an operation on at least one of his legs. Lehigh Valley Hospital near the raceway says that Allison remains unconscious. Other reports say Allison may have suffered abdominal trauma, internal bleeding, a bruised heart, a concussion, and possible broken ribs. We will update you on his condition as the week progresses.
See the white car on the bottom of the racetrack, that's Ty. Oh, he ran over something.
What the heck?
Yeah, he ran over something, and then, I don't know if it knocked an oil line out of it, Steve. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like oil smoke because it's coming out of both front tires, and right there, the right front tire looks up.
Oh, wow. This is huge.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
That angle of impact.
Spring rubber flying out of the car.
Let's go back and see if we can figure out what that was that he ran over.
Did he run over something? Or
Jamie McMurray leading. Here's the first move. Oh, trouble. Dillon gets turned around into the middle of the pack. Casey Mears is the one that hit him. Caution is out. Race is over.
All good, guys. All good.
Here's Stenhouse. You can see right there. He's already making contact with Dillon's bumper.
Wow, looked like Dillon might have just turned around. Yeah, it might have just been there. Wow, what contact that was.
Played here. Oh, trouble. Ricky Rudd slamming toward the wall. Crashing, rolling over, side over side.
Right there, because all he had to do was just get a little sideways, but it looks like that the car just got a little sideways, and just the cars running that close together, even if you don't touch them, the wind acts like you hit each other, and all he had to do was break the car loose, and then when these cars get sideways, they're bad about doing just what you see here. It just looks like it's a lot more moving around. Ricky, I think, is real lucky because the car didn't hit anything solid.
Off of the 16 is what sucked the 14 around, and that is an incredibly hard hit. My gosh, I'm glad. Oh, and then here comes
Neither could control their car, and I don't think either one could see.
And piled right in. But you know what? I'm so thankful that we got the safer barriers back here now, because we didn't always have those there. I think the initial contact, Larry, was when the 14 started up a little bit and they kind of touched it, and that just got the 14 loose.
Look at the speed of Biffle into that wall.
Watch this thing. Pow.
And Kurt Busch just a passenger sliding on into it.
Some contact.
Uh-oh, we've got a problem.
Contact there. For sure. Darrell Waltrip and Joe Rutt. Waltrip's car gets on his wheel and over and over.
Darrell Waltrip tumbling down the backstretch in what appears to be a very, very serious crash. Joe Ruttman, the other car involved in that incident.
Alan Kowicki. And there's Earnhardt pulling out, making it three abreast back there, but quick. He was up a little bit high, and Darrell looked like they just went together as they came off of turn 2 and started Darrell to the infield, and Rutten took him with him.
Car rolled over 5 or 6 times and came to rest on its side. Well, there's DW on the stretcher. He has his hands folded. Last week when Tommy Kendall had that crash at Watkins Glen, the greatest thing that we saw that afternoon was Tommy waved to the crowd as he was being loaded in the ambulance. We don't see
Labonte blocks Bobby Hamilton.
Cannot believe it, Toyota.
Oh, contact! Bobby Labonte's over. It's the big wreck on the final lap. They're racing back for the win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart are side by side.
We see Bobby Hamilton, the 55 car, trying to get on the outside of Bobby Labonte. Labonte comes back down the hill, and now all of a sudden they're 4 wide. And Hamilton gets in the left rear of Bobby Labonte's car, and we see the car start tumbling down the backstretch.
And there's not a whole lot you can do. When you're behind that, all you see is smoke and cars go sideways. You just try to hold the steering wheel straight and get through it somehow.
Rode the roof the whole way. Never flipped over. Just on the roof, and that's how it rode the whole way down the backstretch. Hard crash for Benson there. Mike Wallace. There's Rusty Wallace in the grass. Ricky Craven.
Yeah. That Bobby Hamilton Jr.
Man, look at this car.
Oh, man, further back, Elliott Sadler. And look at this. Gosh. The engine is out of this thing.
Oh, my God. Well, that's the whole suspension. It's like the front part of the front suspension.
The window net is down for Elliott. He's got the helmet off already. That is the best news.
You can see
he is in some pain. Oh, man. I hate to see this. Look at the front of that car.
Engine completely out of the car.
To your screen.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Hey, look at that.
Head on into that Armco.
That's down in a 90-degree corner. Got trouble getting into 3, guys.
Joey Logano.
Big crash.
Oh, he's all tagged down. Over and over, Logano goes between 3 and 4.
Oh, no.
The car will come back to rest on all 4 tires. Heavy crash here on lap 32. Back straight away.
Really just kind of a stack-up effect. Like was one of them got on the brakes and kind of forced. Yeah, look at Tony Stewart just missing this crash. Man, here's where it really gets exciting. Man.
We talked about that there's nowhere to go as you come off of these corners, and when something like this happens, you make a commitment, and you've got one opportunity really to miss this wreck. Tony Stewart did a great job. Some others got caught up in. Let's drive along with Tony Stewart here. See it develop right in front of him. He actually got into the back of the 20 as he checked up.
And you know it's going to be bad right here when he comes up in front of traffic. Reed Sorensen makes the impact. Scott Speed got a piece of it also.
The car's actually going backwards when it starts to lift up and go over and begin to tumble.
Yeah, it's just being pushed, and as he kind of dug in a little bit and it was continued to get pushed there, that's what got it up and rolling.
And you hear what you talk about how high the banks are here, and you see he's just tumbling down that bank. There's so much height difference right there from the top of the bank down to the apron.
3 stories the difference between the